Hello everybody, my name is Gian, and welcome back to another episode of the Foundation Files. I'm here with my co-hosts, Ren and James.
Hello.
Hey guys.
And last episode, we recorded our infamous Ren-isode, where Ren picked out his favorite SCPs for us to read. And we were pretty interested in the SCPs having to do with the Class of 76 canon, just a series of SCPs having to deal with a supernatural high school class of students that graduated in the year 1976 with a few paranormal things surrounding them. We had, of course, the field trip with the lake of the bodies in the water that you do not recognize, as well as the house party SCP I believe we ended last episode on. And the Class of 76 canon, it's pretty expansive, in which there are multiple SCPs related to the Class of 76 as a whole. It's its own, genre of stories. And since we liked that episode so much, we are going to go throughout the big three Class of 76 SCPs.
Yay!
Excited for it. This one seems pretty
Yeah, you go. Before we get started, Ren, could you give us a little bit of history of the Class of 76 stories? Because I think you know more about the topic more than I do. So, do you know exactly, with which SCPs the whole thing started and, how they kind of spiraled out onwards?
I believe... Let me see. I believe it started out with, the yearbook. I believe it started with, I think it's Remembrance. Or no, Remembrance is the, the whole thing. Yes, SCP-1833. That was the first one that, started it all off. And then it eventually just became so popular that it started building its own canon within the community.
So we read Field Trip and House Party last episode, which were pretty infamous, I guess, examples of the Class of 76 canon, but the three we're going to be taking a look at today are, the big three, these are the must-reads. I would argue that Field Trip is kind of a must-read, even though, if you read it on it, you could read it on its own and not care about 76 and still, take something away from it. But we are going to be reading the big three Class of 76 SCPs, starting with SCP-1833, named the Class of 76. Object Class Safe. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-1833 is to be contained in a standard containment locker located in Site-77's Safe SCP Wing. No personnel other than Class D personnel are authorized to handle SCP-1833. Description: SCP-1833 is a copy of the 1976 edition Redacted High School Yearbook. Its appearance is consistent with other copies of the book and appears to have normal wear for an object of its age. The yearbook is entitled Reflections of 76. It is hardcover and contains exactly 50 pages. The book is divided into 5 sections: a collection of student photographs, photographs from around the school year, club photos, photos from athletic events, and an autograph section. When SCP-1833 is read by any person who has graduated from high school, the object's anomalous effect will initiate. The individual, hereafter referred to as the subject, who reads SCP-1833 will perceive it as their own high school yearbook, containing messages left by persons with whom they associated socially during their high school senior years. Initially, these photographs and messages will be positive and encouraging comments written in the book's margins, often mentioning events which invoke positive feelings in the subject. However, after approximately 10 pages are read, the messages will begin more negative in tone. Initially, they will recount events that occurred during high school for which the subject feels embarrassment or remorse. They will then begin to mention events from the subject's life that occurred after completing high school and will make personal attacks on the subject. In addition, the photographs depicted in the book will become more negative, with the persons depicted in the photographs often appearing to be heavily deformed. After an intermediate number of pages have been read, ranging from 20 to 30, photographs of the subject will begin to appear in the book. Initially, these photographs will depict embarrassing events that occurred during the subject's time in high school. However, as the subject progresses through the book, the photos will become more disturbing, with photographs of the subject committing crimes, being mutilated, and being harmed by other people depicted in 1833 being most commonly reported images. Examples of images depicted in SCP-1833. Page 3. Beginning of SCP-1833's content, several students, including the subject, are depicted in candid photographs taken during the school year. All persons depicted in the photographs appear smiling, and the subject is pictured socializing with a large group of attractive students. Page 10. Subject appears to be giving a presentation to a class. The topic of the presentation varies between subjects, but students observed appearing engaged and interested. Page 16. The first instance of negative imagery. The subject appears to be spilling a lunch tray onto several other students. Page 20. Subject appears in a goalie uniform, lying in the grass as the opposing team swarms a goal. A marching band is visible in the background. Page 29. The first instance of violent imagery. Subject appears to be in a nurse's office with several abrasion wounds on the face and neck. Page 36. Subject appears in a music club photograph. However, the other club members have congregated to the far side of the photo and appear to be jeering and throwing things at the subject. Page 39. The subject appears to be sleeping in its bedroom and surrounded by other persons depicted in the yearbook. These persons have grossly mutilated facial features and are looking directly at the viewer. Back cover. Handwritten message saying, "We had a great year, haven't we? Don't worry about waiting for the reunion. I'm sure we'll see each other soon enough. Lots of love from all your best friends." And that's our SCP, the class of 76.
This one's really cool. I like this one as like a little build up into it. It like interests me. It makes me want to learn more about it.
It's a great start.
So, I'm just first. I'm going to see where these links lead to. I recognize. Okay, so that line at the end for the back cover, handwritten message, "I'm sure we'll see each other soon enough," links directly to Field Trip, the "You do not recognize the bodies in the water" SCP.
That's cool. I like that.
And
I like that connection.
This one on page 20, mentioning a marching band being visible in the background, is going to link to our next SCP we're going to read. But first off, yeah, class of 76. If this is the first one in the 76 canon, which I would like to have more research on, because the next one we're going to be reading is SCP-332, which was, since it's like an earlier series number, it was written before this one. But I suppose that this was made, and then I guess the authors decided to make it a part of one big haunted high school canon.
Yes.
And we will...
I have a question.
You go.
Are we gonna go back to the bodies in the water?
I don't think we need to. Unless
Okay.
you wanted to point out a specific thing.
We already showed.
No,
it
it was just... It was just because there's a whole other thing connecting to the class of 76. Like, if you go like all the way down.
Yeah, we talked about this in the last episode.
Yeah.
Okay. But then there's like a whole paragraph that explains it a little bit more.
Huh.
It's fine. We don't need to read it.
Gotcha.
We can go down that rabbit hole another episode.
Of course, of course.
Yeah.
This is being continued next semester as well, if I remember correctly. So I
This
think we have time.
is the end of our first SCP of the night, class of 76. Would you all ready to move on to the next one?
Yeah.
Alright, the next
Oh, yes,
SCP
sir.
on our list is SCP-332, the Kirk Lawnwood High School Marching Band. Object Class Safe. Special Containment Procedures. Kirk Lawnwood High School has been declared condemned. SCP-332 therefore requires no containment other than a standard security patrol between January and August. Between the months of September and December, SCP-332 is to be accompanied at all times by an armed escort who are to play ambient noise recordings at high volumes next to SCP-332. Ambient noise is to be plausible for the surroundings. Typical soundscapes include construction, weather, or traffic. Description: SCP-332 is the Kirk Lawnwood High School Marching Band of the Fall 1975 season. The band is composed of 30 members, which are designated 1 through 30. all members of SCP-332 were firmly enrolled at the seniors at Kirk Lawnwood High School and expected to graduate in spring 1976. All uniforms and instruments of SCP-332 installed are labeled as belonging to Syncope Symphony. Now, Syncope Symphony, from what I know, is heavily involved in all of the, this company, heavily involved in all the paranormal happenings with the Class of 76 SCPs, although I think I found some SCPs that dig deeper into what Syncope Symphony is, but they were all too long and definitely need another episode to go into. Ren, do you know much about Syncope Symphony?
Huh?
Do you know much about Syncope Symphony?
It's syncope.
Whatever. Do you know about it?
Yes, I do know a lot about it. But I do want to point out that syncope is a temporary loss of consciousness caused by a sudden drop in blood flow to the brain.
Huh.
I remember that brand was mentioned last episode at the party, right? Like the party.
It was a speaker brand. It was a speaker brand.
Yeah, speaker brand.
Yes,
and
it's
remember,
very. Yeah. It's very connected to Class of 76. It's going to be mentioned in a lot of the SCPs. I can't remember which specific ones, but I'm sure we'll get another.
Are these all written by the same person, or are people adding on to it and they just know? I'm sure at this point now there are people adding on to it, but like this one.
Oh yeah.
I believe they are different authors, yes.
Oh.
Like, I don't know the ones like Class of 76 and Field Trip. I don't even, or like, the Marching Band. I don't think they were made, I don't know if they were made by the same guy, but I do know that, we talked about last episode, Field Trip, Bodies in the Water, is the author is a DJ Cactus.
That's good.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
Alright. Continuing onward with the article. The majority of the time, SCP-332 instances are stationary inside of the Kirk Lawnwood High School band room. During these periods, they are positioned as if they are holding an animated discussion. No Foundation efforts have been successful in provoking any kind of reaction from a stationary instance, and they do not seem to have any functioning biological systems. No damage, wear, or movement has successfully been imposed upon SCP-332. SCP-332 activates according to the Kirk Lawnwood High School home game football schedule. This entails an activation at roughly 7 p.m. local time on 1 to 2 days per week, with a footnote reading, "Weeks with a single activation indicate that an away game would be played at Kirk Lawnwood football team." Between the months of September and December. During this time, SCP-332 will resume their conversations. After 30 minutes, they will proceed to the field and perform. They will then stand below the bleachers, wait, and then perform again 1 hour later. After this, they will head back to the band room and begin their conversation from earlier, freezing in the middle. SCP-332 was initially discovered on December 12, 1975, shortly following the last scheduled marching band performance of the season. According to witness reports, SCP-332 took the field during the final game of the season and performed as initially intended. While the songs played not as initially scheduled, they were not so abnormal as to draw particular notice. All had been previously played by SCP-332 during preceding 4 months. However, following the end of the game, it was discovered that the 30 members of SCP-332 were missing. Rather than having changed out of their uniforms and reconnected with friends and family at the game as expected, 332 had seemingly vanished. They were found 45 minutes after the end of the game, unmoving and not responding to stimuli in the Kirk Lawnwood music room. This caused widespread and publicized panic, which in turn alerted the Foundation to possible anomalous activity. In the process of fabricating a cover story, further complicated by the discovery of additional anomalies associated with Kirk Lawnwood High School, Foundation investigators discovered that most members of SCP-332 had expressed anxieties and concerns about the future. No instances expressed optimism toward the future. The individuals not known to having expressed concerns were those for whom the Foundation was unable to form a psychological profile for of any kind. It is assumed they had such fears, but did not express them to others. 3 excerpts of the psychological profiles have been included below, to give a better depiction of the mental state of SCP-332. These have been chosen for the clarity and direct discussion of relevant ideas and diversity of type. Interview between Operative Blackwire of Mobile Task Force Zeta-2 and Deirdre McKenzie is an art teacher at Kirk Longwood High School concerning a student of hers, Sadie Freeman. Who would like to be Operative Blackwire, and who would like to be Miss Mackenzie?
I can take Blackwire.
Ren, are you okay with being Miss Mackenzie?
I guess.
Alright, go ahead and start us out, Blackwire.
If you want to swap, we can, dude.
Dude, I don't care. You just hate me and want me dead, though.
Okay. Thank you for taking the time to speak with me. I know you're up to your ears in federal agencies days, but I just wanted to ask you a few questions about one, Sadie Freeman. She would have been in your second period painting class.
Oh yes. Sadie's one of my best students here. It's a shame what happened to her.
Oh, I'm sorry to remind you of that, man. I'm actually here to talk about one of her class history with you, and what that was like.
Of course. You need to speak with me specifically for some reason.
She loved your class, didn't she?
Adored it.
Did she ever talk about the future? About art and your class, I mean?
All the time. She always told me that she wished she could use her skills here in life, but she was going to school as a business major. That's what her parents wanted for her. And I guess she didn't have much say in it.
She knew where she was going already?
Oh, no. But all the schools she had applied to were for business, not art. Wharton, not RISD. Father's decision.
That's quite unfortunate, but she wanted to pursue art as a career path?
I don't know if calling it as a career path is the right idea. She wanted to do art as, how did she put it, forever? Or maybe sometimes it was, I wish I never had to do anything else.
Which a reasonable person might mean as a job.
I always just got the sense that she was daydreaming.
Which doesn't require you to be reasonable, per se.
Right.
So we've got a girl who really wants to make art and never do anything else. Not even apparently a job, since she didn't want to be a business major.
Well, keep in mind she was a teenager. Only 17.
Right, fair. Say, did she specify the kind of art all that often?
No, I don't think she did. She clearly had ambitions outside of painting in my class. She really loved marching band, too. Always talked about that, always in the same breath as my class.
So she'd be just as happy playing a tune forever as she would be painting forever.
Yes, I think that's right.
Interesting.
Wait, isn't that... That can't be real, is it? But then where else would she be?
Keep taking your pills, the ones marked with the G.
G stands for good. Oh, sorry.
That's so weird. G stands for good, right? I'll get out of your hair now.
And I believe clicking on the linked G will take you to a page of Foundation Amnestics. Group discussion led by Operative Blackwire and 3 surviving students of Kirk Longwood High School. Surviving students.
That's a little odd.
Concerning Stephen Farago, number 10, a tubaist. Conversation conducted while survivors were playing basketball in Johnny Gillespie's driveway.
Gillespie.
That name sounds really familiar.
Gillespie.
There's a character in Silent Hill called Alessa Gillespie, along with
Gillespie.
her mom. I forget her name, but Alessa Gillespie is one of the main characters in Silent Hill 1.
Oh.
So
Hey, I'm gonna need to take a moment of your time, you 3. Oh, there's 3 people here, so I guess you guys have to figure out who to be.
Ren, be all 3 kids.
What?
All 3 of them?
Yes.
Okay.
You have to do different voices for each of them.
Okay. Oh, I thought you were gonna reread it. Sorry.
Oh, my bad. Hey, I'm gonna need to take a moment of your time, you 3.
How come?
You know this kid?
Yeah. So what?
We're investigating him. Need to know what he was up to. What he was thinking in the moments before things went off.
You don't think he had anything to do with it?
Want to help roll him out?
Sure. Hit us. Oh, shoot. He was really unsure about what college he wanted to go to. He'd submitted all his applications, but was expecting them to all be acceptances. My man was smart.
He was sure they'd all be acceptances.
Enough. He'd have options.
But he didn't have a ranked list of favorites?
According to him, they all had extreme ups and downs, and he weighed those ups and downs different on any given day.
Like what?
The school's too close. This one's too expensive. This one doesn't have the majors and minors he needs. Better job opportunities over there. Better social life over here.
Interesting. And how did he feel about the present?
He was happy where he was. On track to be a valedictorian, student body class officer, great girlfriend, everything. If we're really honest, he was kind of lying to himself to be a peaked in high school type of guy.
Right, I'm familiar with the type.
I'm sure you are, old timer.
What does that mean,
All right.
Naphtalotus?
Alright, did the marching band play into things at all? He was happy with his position there?
Oh yeah, never shut up about it.
He was planning to do it beyond the end of season?
He joined the band in college. Wherever he was, whatever he was doing, that was always in the cards. He'd be in the marching band. Oh.
If he had it his way until the day he died.
Informative. Now, I'm sorry to have been a pain, but this is really helpful. You boys have a nice day. I'm sure I'll see you around again if I have any follow-up questions.
Jeez Louise, how does Papa Meat do it?
The final entry of a journal. Very nice job on the voices, by the way. The final
Thanks,
entry of a journal recovered from the house of Nathan Blaston, number 30, a member of the percussion section of SCP-332. Based on contextual clues, the following journal entry was written on December 10th, 1975. Ren, would you be okay with reading the note?
Yeah, that's chill. Do I have to do a different voice?
However you feel.
Oh, okay. I can't do it. I can't let myself wither and let the rot into my bones and into my heart. It can't know me in that way. I won't let it happen. Rot is closer every day, creeping and creeping around every corner, almost here. Nothing worse in the world. Never grow older or change into something worse. F word. No. No. I'm drowning out here and nobody cares. I need to change. I can't change. I'll never change. I don't want to change. I want to be who I am. I can't be anything other than what I am, and that excites me. I can't wait. Forever and ever and ever. Dream last night of us playing in the marching band, and the fog was there, and the world was quiet, and I can't remember anything else. Syncope. A temporary loss of blood to an organ, often used with a reference to the brain, in which case it presents as fainting, and used as, what? Metonymy?
That's what
For the state of falling unconscious. I think I'd rather die than grow old.
And that's going to be the end of the article.
This one's really cool. I really like this one a lot. I know I say that about pretty much all of them, but in all fairness, we have been picking a bunch of bangers, and we haven't started delving into the dookie ones yet, to my memory.
What I find
And
really
who's to thank for
interesting...
that?
You go, sorry.
And who's to thank for all the bangers recently?
You...
This
you
guy.
and Gion.
Okay, who got Gion into the Class of 76 one?
Yeah, but there were ones before we started talking about Class of 76 that were good.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't like you.
Something about this SCP that I think is really cool is that it could definitely stand on its own. I don't know how well, but it could stand on its own of like, yeah, it's a ghost marching band that plays every year in like a condemned high school. You could leave it there, but they also, the information they give about the interviews about the kids that are a part of the ghost marching band, and like that note on the end, you can tie it, you can see that there's definitely like a story that is there, a more story that the article isn't giving you.
Yes, because I noticed that both Sadie Freeman and then Stephen Farrago and Nathan Blaston, I'm pretty sure, okay, well it doesn't say for Nathan, but for both Sadie and Stephen, they were both pursuing college. Which is seen as that's something you think about at the end of your high school.
Mm-hmm.
I guess career, and then you start going to college, and then they never got to go to college, and now they're permanently stuck in high school.
Mm-hmm. And I do
So
think that all wraps together with the final line being, I think I'd rather die than grow old.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And if you're curious about this link at the bottom that says Notice from the Foundation Records and Information Security Administration, the above file is an archived copy from 2012. Click here to see the most recent version. This takes you to another article, Sale SCP 332, but this is from a canon in which the SCP Foundation is like millions of years into the future. Earth has been abandoned, just the Foundation operates in space now, and it's about like super future Foundation workers going down to Kirklandwood High School millions of years in the future, and the band is still there.
That's so cool.
That's really cool.
And that is it for the 1976 Kirklandwood High School Marching Band. I think that's definitely our longest of the SCPs we're going to read tonight, and lined up we have our last one of the night, SCP-1423, the Summer of 76, if you all are ready to begin.
Oh!
Alright.
Sorry. Could you tell I like this one?
I did.
Timbro might be a little excited.
Alright. Object Class, Safe. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-1423 is to be contained in a standard containment locker located in Site-77's safe SCP wing. No personnel are to come into physical contact with 1423, and any who have done so are to be treated as a cognition hazard victim and removed from active duty. Personnel assigned to research SCP-1423 are to be given full psychological evaluations every 4 weeks to detect if they have been affected. Description: SCP-1423 is a Polaroid photograph circa 1976. It depicts several unidentified teenagers, is believed to have been taken in the summer of that year. The message, "We had a great year, haven't we?" has been written on the back of 1423 in charcoal. Whenever 1423 is held by a human subject, they will suffer a memory-altering effect over the next several weeks. The subject will show a tendency to reminisce about the last summer vacation they experienced in high school. Footnote 1 saying, subjects who never attended high school or never had a summer vacation will report the last summer they experienced. Testing has shown these memories are accurate, and that SCP-1423 affected subjects have an unusually high rate of accuracy from these memories. SCP-1423 affected subjects will attempt to revisit locations from their vacation, such as concerts, cities, amusement parks, farms, hometowns, and will attempt to contact other subjects whom they contacted during that period when revisiting these locations. Subjects will express feelings of regret that they didn't experience as much as they could have. They may attempt to recreate the experience, however, all subjects attempting to do so have reported immense dissatisfaction. Following this change, subjects will become highly possessive of 1423, claiming that it documents their experiences. They will begin experiencing dreams of idealized versions of their vacation, which will increase in clarity the longer they possess SCP-1423. In several cases, SCP-1423 affected subjects would begin keeping journals based on their dreams. If SCP-1423 is not removed from the subject's possession at this time, they will neglect all activities that do not relate to SCP-1423. However, after 3 to 5 months of exposure, subjects will begin to document major alterations to their dreams. Subjects may report elements not found in their dreams, instead claiming that they are no longer able to remember the dreams properly. They will continuously attempt to utilize 1423's effects, with each dream becoming longer and less related to the original experience. This effect will persist indefinitely. SCP-1423 was recovered from the home of Redacted, who had been reported missing by his neighbors. After local authorities reported on SCP-1423's anomalous effect, Foundation personnel were able to intervene and suppress the reports. Class C amnestics were administered to the witnesses. However, Redacted had been previously administered amnestics in 1976 after he was present at Kirklandwood High School during incident SCP-332-A, which I'm assuming is referencing the marching band. Class A amnestics were given to Mr. Redacted, and investigation into the connection is ongoing. Addendum: documents recovered from SCP-1423 affected subject. Rand, do you want to read these?
I thought you'd never ask. Okay. It's endless and never ending, and all those other words for too damned long. We've gotten our vans, the road's ahead, but we never get anywhere. We're always closer to the concert. Well, it's a concert today. Yesterday we were headed to Miami to go to see the Coral Castle. Last Tuesday it was Washington to get together with the suffragists. Suffrage? God, that ain't right. We ain't right about anything. I really, really want to grab Jerry in his face and yell, "Hey, we're never getting anywhere. It's just the same thing. You... Can I say that?"
Sure.
Yay! You dumbass. When do we get there? But he won't hear, because I won't say it. I'm relaxed here and rolling through the hills of technicolor grasses and farms. We passed the Boyd farm about 11 times yesterday, and every time it had the same rusty gate out front. I think I saw someone resting on the porch once, with depraved, hollow eyes that followed them down the road. It wasn't swamp gas. We almost look forward to class now. Class? God, I haven't thought about going back to class in months, maybe years. I remember seeing that tightwad Nathan with his stupid face and rusty glasses. Man, I used to want to punch his mug every time I saw it with that dumb, oblivious grin. If I saw him now, I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking this. We'll be at the concert tomorrow anyways. I can't wait to see Amy again. Roads go on, climbing up the cracked highway. Jamie tried to buy back his soul with a dime he found under the cushion. Stuck it in like a penny arcade and we watched him spin. The sun's ahead of us, burning and crumbling with some light dancing between the trees lining the road. They aren't trees really, more like puppy dog tails, wriggling in the wind. Found the postcard from Dad again. Hopes my vacation will be as good as the one he took. I hope he's wrong, right.
And that's the end of the article.
This one's cool. I think my favorite was the marching band.
Mm-hmm. This is my first time reading this one. Ren, can you give me an analysis, because you said you liked this one a lot? Because I don't know how to feel about it, really, especially with the notes at the end, you know?
I actually had hashtag lied.
Okay.
I thought it was a different one. I was thinking of Remembrance, which we should definitely do sometime. Pretty please, with cherry on
Remembrance
top.
basically like a creepypasta kind of thing?
Which is Remembrance? Which SCP is that?
It is, if you go to We've Had a Great Year, haven't we, in the highlighted part of the one we just read, it'll take us to Remembrance, and it's just like a story.
Oh yeah, this is the whole story.
And I would love to read that, even though it's a lot. But like, hashtag I love reading, and I love Class of 76, so... Hashtag, please?
Maybe.
It's not horribly long.
I know, but I don't think we have time for it tonight, unfortunately.
I was to talk about tonight.
Yeah, maybe sometime. But the ones we've read are, like, that's the trifecta, almost. I would also like to add Field Trip to that. The Mount Rushmore of Class of 76 SCPs. Really, they tell you all you need to know with the main themes that the article, or like the stories, the SCPs are conveying of, you know, like, high school solemnness of, like, I don't know, remembering the glory days of high school. And, like, the first two SCPs really, I think... No, the first, yeah, all those SCPs, they really harken in on that theme. That spread, like, that connects them all, really.
What the Class of 76 is all about, baby.
Yes. Well, we've read our SCPs for the night. I think that is going to end our discussion for the Class of 76. Is there any specific topic or... I don't know. Either topic or, like, genre of SCP you all would be looking at for the next episode?
We could continue with Class of 76 if we want. I also think it could be fun to look at some kind of goofy, bad ones. There's a few stinkers I've heard about, so I wouldn't be against looking at those.
We know where I stand.
Of course. But nonetheless, I would like to thank all of you for joining us on the episode 5 of the Foundation Files, and I'd like to thank my 2 hosts for being here late at night to record this with me. And with that, we are going to end tonight's session. Thank you all very much for watching. Thank you all for being here. You all have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.